Fred, I'm sorry. We'll get through this.
My whole life has been a lie, Daphne. I have parents I've never known.
We'll find them, together.
No. I need to do this on my own. I'm sorry, Daphne. The engagement is off. I'm leaving Crystal Cove, and I'm leaving tonight.
But what about us? Mystery Incorporated!
Mystery Incorporated is dead.
Okay, does that sound to you like Scooby-Doo, or does it sound more like a Mexican soap opera?
Personally to me, I'm gonna say it's Scooby-Doo the Mexican soap opera series. But no, in all honesty, you're right, that does kind of sound like a Mexican soap opera, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, right? And don't get me wrong, I do like the show. But still, that doesn't mean I'm going to ignore all the things that are wrong with it. No, yeah, I have seen videos on the internet of people going like, oh, this is the best remake so far. The art style is so good. The mini stories are so good. Oh, finally we get to see the characters being characters instead of archetypes. Blah, 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 blah. I have heard it all about this show. And let me tell you, the show has a lot of problems that I don't see people acknowledging or even mention. And I do have like 5 points I want to make about the show. So, you wanna hear them?
Well, let's get through these joyful
Alright,
points.
you say yes, these are my 5 points about the show. By the way, spoilers ahead.
You're dead right, mate. Dead right, mate.
Yeah, my first problem with the show is that it's too melodramatic at times. You know, like the clip I just showed you. And I get it, they want to make something out of the characters, something different. And yeah, they are teenagers, so they are bound to be melodramatic and stuff. But Jesus Christ, there's a balance. You know, I like writing, and I'm also half Latino. So what I'm trying to say about this is that I can sense when people are trying to cheat their own way into drama. Just look at these scenarios.
This is your fault. Mystery Incorporated is over.
Fred!
Daphne! No!
I mean, just look at these scenarios.
Daphne! No! Nova, hang on!
And then you have Scooby-Doo waiting in the hospital for his girlfriend to recover from a coma? And she, you know, when she wakes up, it's all, you know, like Nibiru is coming, or some shit like that, and that's straight out of a novella. That's straight out of Telemundo. So yeah. But yeah, what kind of asshole would I be if I didn't present any solutions? My simple solution for the first problem is just tone it down a little bit. You know, like if you want to create drama, just don't put all this fucking orchestra and people screaming and don't make it, you know, like fucking novella. I thought it was a joke the first time, to be honest. Like, just tone it down a little bit. It's not, still not a major problem, but I think it's worth mentioning.
We know that we will be mates forever.
I get what people say that finally the characters are finally characters. And trust me, I do appreciate it. But when you compare these characters to their other incarnations, there's not a really high bar, to be honest, you know? Like, if you had to rank all of the characters in Scooby-Doo, it will go something like Scooby first, second Shaggy, third place for Velma, fourth place for Daphne, and fifth place, you know, the last one, I think it will go to Fred. Why? Because children obviously like more a talking dog than they like a jerk with an ascot tie. So yeah, that's why every single writer in Scooby-Doo always makes Scooby and Shaggy the focus of the whole story. It's understandable, really. But what I'm trying to say is that no matter what the writers do in this show, it's always going to come out as superior. But the problem in here is that the writers found a way early on to fuck it all up and drove themselves full speed into a fucking tree. Like, I get it, they tried to make something new with the characters and all, but Scooby and Shaggy, mostly with the Velma relationship plot point, come out as really douchey and toxic. They form this really bizarre, love triangle with Scooby, which I think it's meant to represent, you know, the split up between a best friend and a girlfriend. But the problem in here is not the love triangle itself. The problem is that for a love triangle to work, they have to show each point of view of the relationship, you know? They have to show Scooby, Shaggy, and Velma's, and they only show Velma's point. So Shaggy and Scooby come out as assholes for the most part. Like, just hear this dialogue.
Stop it, Shaggy. I'm not stupid. Are you cheating on me?
Fred Jones, what are you talking about? Were you even listening to a single word I said?
Yep, listening like a man.
I'm glad after all this, that's what you came away with, Fred.
Awesome! Like, Velma, that's the best talk we've had since we broke up.
What an asshole!
Scooby comes out as really needy, clingy, and really jealous for no freaking reason.
Oh, and also going back to the whole point of Scooby having a girlfriend. Why is it all right for Scooby to have a girlfriend, but when it's Shaggy, it's not all right? It's all a thing of, oh, you're cheating on me. I'm sorry, Scooby. Does that mean you're cheating on Shaggy then, you bloody half-witted twit?
By the way, if a friend ever says that to you, with no really any context whatsoever, just comes out of nowhere making you choose, like, it's understandable from Velma's point of view. But if a friend ever says that to you, congratulations, you have gained yourself a toxic friend. My advice is, leave them. Fuck them. Like, and I get it, Shaggy's meant to be a coward. But the problem is, if you ever have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you ask them, you know, to come out clean, or tell you what they are really feeling, or what they think about something, and they just run, fucking break with them in the fucking spot. Fuck them. I'm glad they break up. I'm glad Shaggy gets dumped. I'm glad Velma found herself someone else, because Shaggy's kind of an asshole in the whole series. This is not really a healthy behavior. For this, it would be really easy, a fix, to give Scooby abandonment issues. Like, as far as I know, Shaggy adopted Scooby because nobody else really wanted him, and he's kind of like a mongrel, or like a mix-up. So he's not a pure breed, that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe since Shaggy's parents don't really like Scooby, I don't know, focus one episode on Shaggy putting Scooby aside for Velma, and Scooby gets, you know, left out and he feels lonely. He tries to spend time with Shaggy's parents and they don't really like him. So he feels like he's going to get abandoned, you know, like he feels like Shaggy's the only person who really likes him. And that would actually give him a reason to dislike Velma, or at least to get jealous of her.
We can't be beat if we stick together.
Okay, for a show called Mystery Inc., the actual mysteries are kind of meh and bleh. What I mean by this is that while the designs for the monsters are good and the quirks are really fun, the mysteries come out as more of like an afterthought than anything else. And there are some really clever clues hidden in the episodes that if you blink you will miss them, and that kind of reveals them. But the problem in here is that in order for a mystery to work, you have to have clues. The audience has to think about and gather them and construct an analysis or an answer based on logic. The problem in here is that some of the clues in here are just revealed after the mystery has been solved. And this becomes more apparent in Season 2, because how am I supposed to know that this guy was a German musician? Or that this guy used to build rockets for the Soviet Union? Or this random security guard who only appeared for just one scene is supposed to be a hairy freak? It doesn't really make any sense. There's not really any clues. If you want to watch a good animated series about mystery, go watch Conan. Not that one, the funny one.
Stand up strong and put your partner on and follow along with this song.
I want to know at what point did the writers say to themselves, you know who would make a great villain? Jontron!
You fucking idiot! Piece of shit!
Well, I didn't realize you were going to go apeshit.
Scissorman!
We finally have a main villain for the series, and an ongoing mystery. This villain is Professor Pericles, a mascot of a previous Mystery Incorporated team. And guess what? He sucks! And I get what they try to do with this whole psycho gentleman trope, And I have seen it in other shows, but the problem is that they know how to handle them. He doesn't suck because he's an animal. He sucks because of the type of animal they chose. Like, okay, the first time we see him, he comes out as a little bit threatening, to be honest. But then he's threatening people in their faces? Like, oh, I'm going to kill you, oh, how you doing, Kinda? And all of that fucking bullshit. And the problem is that he's a fucking parrot. Just grab him and throw him to the floor and stomp him to death. He's not threatening, he's just a motherfucking parrot. If they chose another kind of animal, for example, let's say a monkey, or even a panther, or something like that, something that is actually threatening. If Scooby-Doo himself wants to threaten you, you would think it twice before attacking a Great Dane, wouldn't you? So yeah, Professor Pericles is not scary by himself. And every single time he's threatening the gang, they are like, oh, Professor Pericles! None of them grab the idea to, I don't know, grab the fucking parrot. I mean, a chicken is bigger than that shit. The only person in the show who seems to get the idea is Hot Dog Water at the end. And guess what? That gets her fucking killed. And finally, in his magnum opus of stupidity, he builds a fake replica of the town and makes Fred's parents to go under facial surgery so they can trick the gang, and mostly Fred, into revealing the location of the disc, but the plan failed for obvious fucking reasons. And he comes out all proud at the end saying, oh, my plan is so brilliant. What I'm trying to say is that his plan sucks. His plans doesn't really make any sense and are really stupid and never work. The only time his plans actually work is when he gets one of his bodyguards to grab Daphne and hold her to a gunpoint and tell Fred, give me the disc or I'll fucking shoot her. And that works! Like, what I'm trying to say, all of his plans fail and are kind of stupid in a sense. And they act like he's completely mastermind, even though every single fucking plan, besides being nuts, is kind of stupid.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. I mean, for goodness sake, it's... The stupid thing that they did was they made Professor Pericles a freaking Nazi. I mean, that's another thing we've got to talk about, is the fact that they turned a parrot into a Nazi.
I'm invincible.
And they go full German stereotype on season 2.
It was I who gave Aphrodite the secret formula. Once that was accomplished, I could go after the real ingredients I needed to find.
We have a missile?
Yes, we have a missile, you pudding-faced Dummkopf. Now, fire it! Mach schnell! Schnell!
Yeah, and, you know, even when they do come to the German, it's all the same sort of thing of, like, schnell! Or something like that. You know, that's all they seem to know, these cartoonists, is all just, oh, okay, we'll make him say something German. Throw schnell in there. It works with everything.
Jesus Christ.
You're dead right, mate. Hello, matey!
I mean, for the positives, I do like the fact that they actually decided to run with a continuing story. I mean, at least it wasn't sort of that Monster of the Week show. I mean, it kind of still was the Monster of the Week, coming with a weird slime monster or whatever like that. But at least in a sense, there was a continuing arc that was sort of happening in the background of the shadows, in my opinion.
Yeah, kind of. The problem is with the show is that it goes overboard really quick. I mean, okay, what made the mystery work in season 1 is that it was fairly simple. A group of teenagers just like them disappeared, and I honestly thought the first time when I was a kid that they actually got killed and the whole town was in this, conspiracy, and it was kind of creepy, to be honest. And this brings me to my final point with the show, is that the whole mystery, it's kind of dumb. Apparently there are gods in this whole universe, and like Anubis, Quetzalcoatl, Ganesh, and all of those apparently come from a different dimension, because they are beings that want to help humanity, and some of those have, they have descendants. So yeah, so every single talking animal in the show is kind of like a descendant from them. So that makes Scooby, I don't know, the son of Anubis, I don't know. And you have this, you have all of these plot point that there's a dream reality, and then it's just the whole thing with Spaniards and genocide, and then you have these Nazi robots. They confirmed that the parrot is indeed a Nazi because he's been alive since the 1930s, and also you have this entity who wants to control the world, the planets are aligning bullshit and all of this, which is really weird and overboard, and none of this is really necessary. Look at this shot. This looks more like a Justice League kind of stuff. Doesn't really feel like Scooby-Doo anymore. It's just way too fucking much, and it's kind of stupid. And by the way, final spoiler, at the end they decide to go the fucking bullshit route that I hate. Because some people get arrested, some people get their lives ruined, some even get killed off camera. So, you know, like, and I was okay with all of that, but then they just reverse it all. Like, nothing ever bad happened, you know, everything's fine. And I get what they're trying to do, but that just infuriates me because that means that none of the things that happened matter. They erase all of the consequences. And I think that's a horrible thing to teach people. Sometimes people are jerks. Sometimes the world is just fucked up. Some good people are going to get fucked over. And there's nothing you can really do about it. The world is unfair. Life is unfair. And some shit just sucks. They just... I don't know, they just don't acknowledge it. And I hate that Fred's parents, which at this point have been horrible assholes, they erase all of that, and now they are Fred's real parents, and the mayor, who has been really nice to Fred all these years and really cares for him, they fucked that all over again. You know, like, they don't give a shit about it, and they just make him the coach. That's weak.
Dance with us as we skank through the nights.
But you know what the worst thing about this whole video is? I love a lot of aspects of the show, and the show is quite smart at times. But even if the show was perfect, I think I would find a way to bitch about it regardless. Because, you know, even if you told me that this is what you want to do with Scooby-Doo, I would tell you that you are a freaking genius. And that is exactly what I want to see, you know, like a smarter comedy, a character and plot-driven cartoons, you know, like I would say to you, that's the shit. And I'm bitching about it, but because I care about the show. I like it. If I didn't like the show, I wouldn't be complaining about it. I like the show, even though with all the shit that I have just mentioned. But there are definitely problems. I can see why people wouldn't like the show. But I still like it. What do you think about it?
You know, I have to agree with you on that. At least they actually tried something different. I mean, most shows which have been going on for years and years and had constant reiterations are pretty much just the same formula. I mean, at least with Scooby-Doo, they've been able to constantly update and change them and add things into the show to make it more modern and for modern-day audiences. And I guess, in a way, you've got to commend the writers for keeping the series alive and still finding ways to bring Scooby-Doo to the masses all this time. I mean, some shows, you know, they've tried it before and it's failed miserably. I mean, in all honesty, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, you could say, was the architect for most of the greatest shows that we see today. You know, Gravity Falls, for example. That had an underlying mystery to it, and you could almost say that, in a sense, that was almost like the inspiration for it. We've now got great cartoon shows which were made for kids, which, you know, are so much better. And I feel like that maybe Mystery Incorporated was the beginning of that it was the start of this whole new renaissance of cartoon and animation. I don't know. It might not be. I mean, it might just be a sheer coincidence, but to be honest, it seems like it, to me, that it was the architect for that.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, don't let this neurotic idiot distract you from a great show. Go and watch it if you want, and if not, go fuck yourself. I've been Munchkin.
I've been Valentino.
And welcome to Bird Entertainment.
See you soon.